this Chan and Afcon is no longer your ministry's issue. As the president has said, this is a Kenyan project. Your ministry is giving leadership to this, and all the other ministries, including the Ministry of Defense, must be sucked into making sure that this project succeeds. The president has pronounced himself. It's a proud moment for our country, and we want to congratulate your ministry, Honorable CS, your leadership, and your ministry and PS for being the front line, mobilizing us as a country as a proud moment when we'll be hosting Chan and also Afcon. As Ministry of Defense, as I've said, get our highest assurance that what's needed to be done will be done as Ministry of Defense. And congratulations, Honorable CS and your team, for all the work that you're doing for this country and for the proud moment of us hosting Chan and Afcon. Thank you, PS.
A round of applause for our PS Defense for those very good, encouraging words. So, allow me, CS, to also recognize the presence of the new kid in the block, the President FKF, what I was saying, Karibu Sana. Give him a... And let me also allow me to also congratulate Bwana Musonye for having been given that enormous task of chairing our LOC. Karibu Sana. And of course, our Secretariat Chair, Karibuni, and members of FKF, as well as the LOC present here. Karibuni. Allow also me to recognize the CEOs that are present here. Please, can you stand so that you can be seen from my department? We have Doreen from CAS, and we have Komora from Kenya, Sports Kenya, and of course the CEO from Sports Fund, who just spoke before me. Please, you may be seated. So, the representatives of the Principal Secretaries present here today, ministry officials present here, the partners, like I said, FKF, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Or is it afternoon? It's good afternoon. Sorry, we keep confusing because we were supposed to have started this at 11, but because of some work that we had, and we want to thank you for having to wait all along. So today, CS, we stand on a threshold of history. We are unveiling Kenya's local organizing committee for Chan 2024 and Afcon 2027. Secured through the visionary Pamoja bid, this achievement presents more than a commitment to football. It underscores the transformative power of regional unity and the boundless potential of the East African community. And for the sake of us all knowing, this is the first time Afcon is being shared among 3 countries. It has never happened before, so the East Africa is making history to co-host Chan and Afcon 2027. The Pamoja hosting boldly demonstrates the strength of our partnership between Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, reflecting our shared belief of collaboration as a driver of opportunity and progress. As a Principal Secretary, I'm honored to chair the Regional Technical Committee, a role entrusted to me by our partner nations, and together we are committed to delivering tournaments that transcend sports events that inspire unity, strengthen regional integration, and leave a lasting legacy. Indeed, Chan 2027 and Afcon 2024 and Afcon 2027 will not only showcase the best of African football, but also demonstrate the power of partnership in shaping a shared future of prosperity for the East African community. So people will ask, why Chan? And why Afcon 2027 in East Africa? And I'm sure, Waziri, you will be able to expound on that. But I just wanted to touch on the reasons we are proud as East Africa to have been given the responsibility of hosting the two continental championships. Hosting Chan 2024 and Afcon 2027 is a transformative opportunity that extends far beyond football. These tournaments will position Kenya as a premier destination for sports, tourism, attracting visitors from across Africa and beyond to experience our rich culture, warm hospitality, and iconic landscapes. The influx of visitors will spur economic growth, create jobs, and promote local businesses, solidifying Kenya's status as a hub for international events. Additionally, the tournaments catalyze infrastructure development with investments in modernizing stadiums, improving sports networks, and upgrading hospitality facilities. These advancements not only ensure successful tournaments, but also leave a lasting legacy of world-class infrastructure that will benefit generations to come. On the field, Chan 2024 offers a unique platform to spotlight the nature and nurture local talent, as it is exclusively features players competing in domestic leagues. The difference between Chan and that one of Afcon is just the fact that those that are playing in Chan are members of that specific country, so that anybody else who is playing for any other club outside will not be allowed. But then when it comes to Afcon, you can import anyone who is playing outside to come and play for your team. And Waziri, when you look at what we've been able to do as a ministry, it is not only in football that we pride ourselves. When you look at other federations like Athletics Kenya and the rest of them, I think as government, we have organized specific support programs that ensures that we nurture talent to our youth, and at the same time to get out that they can be able to showcase in the world stage. When you look at what we did last time, early this year in France, it was mid this year. When you look at what the under-17s have done in the world of football, and you look at what athletics, the athletics prowess that we have in this country, I think we have a lot to thank ourselves for as a ministry. And when the CEO Sports Fund stood here, it doesn't mean that we have had a lot more funding from the government. It is only that we have now decided as a ministry to be able to be prudent with the little resources that we have and expand the assistance that we are getting from the ministry to more federations countrywide. We are doing this, Waziri, while looking at ourselves and saying, how prepared shall we be by the time we are hosting these tournaments? You know, Chan is from 1st to 28th of February. That is in another 2 months. And Afcon is 2027. I want to take this opportunity to thank your leadership, because in the recent past, we have been very fast in ensuring that each and every contractor that is working on any of our stadia and looking into that is required for Chan is working as is required. And therefore, we can be able to say that we are doing very well as a ministry. And by the time we are hosting Chan on 1st of February, all the fields that are available, like you declared yesterday, will have been ready for the same. Allow me just to conclude by saying that we want each and every federation that is worth funding to ensure, Waziri, like you've declared, that of the law. And I want to take this opportunity, and I know you will emphasize on this, that the Football Federation have done us proud as a country. As a ministry, we have confidence on those that have been elected. We have confidence in the process that was used. And we have confidence that even as we unveil this LOC to take Kenya and East Africa to the next level in terms of football, we have the right people in office, Waziri. And therefore, ours from my department, we want to take this opportunity to assure you of our support and that we will continue working together to ensure that the sporting programs in this country are up to date. Just allow me, as I conclude, to recognize that, just like my PS Mariro said, we are not taking this as a venture of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It is a whole government approach. And like you've realized, we have representation from all the offices that will be required to hold this program successfully. We have the PS Defense, like, yes, you saw him here. We have also the PS, Dr. Kipto from Treasury in the LOC. Yes, we have his representative here. We have also Mohamed Daga. Waziri, he had been here earlier, but because of he needed to go somewhere this afternoon, he gave us his apologies and left. That is from Transport. We also have PS Dr. Raymond Omolo from Interior in the LOC, and I think his representative is around. We have Madam Mary Mudhoni, PS Public Health. Yes, we have a representative here. We also have Engineer Tanui, ICT, and I think he was supposed to have been here. He will join us later. We have PS Ololtua from Tourism. We have PS Foreign Affairs, Mr. Singoe, Dr. Singoe. We have Professor Bitok, PS Immigration. We also have PS Hassan from Investments. And we have our friend from ESC, Mr. What is his name? Dobat from ESC. And therefore, then the approach that we've given ourselves as a ministry is to ensure that all departments that are responsible in one way or another of a specific item within the whole ecosystem is represented at the highest office, and that is the office of the CS, the PS. And therefore, Waziri, let me conclude by saying that we are happy as a ministry that now we've had this team to be able to steer us going forward on issues Afcon and Chan. And again, because of your wisdom, you've been able to get the right people in the office. And for us as a ministry, when I see those of you that you have appointed, I think we are going places. With those few remarks, Karibu Waziri, so that you can give us your word of wisdom. Mpigia makofi as it comes.
Please be seated. Thank you very much, PS. The PS Sports, Engineer Peter Tum, the PS Defense, my friend Patrick Mariro, the representative of the PSS who are here, the president of the Football Federation of Kenya, the new president, the new man in town, Mr. Hussein Mohammed, with your vice president, now that McDonald Mariga, yeah, thank you very much. The chair of the LOC committee, Mr. Musonyi and the team, our CEOs who are here, the rest of the members of the LOC, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon once again. I'd like first to start by apologizing because I came late. Because the cabinet committee meeting took longer than was anticipated. The deputy president started the meeting very early in the morning, before 7, so we assumed that we were going to be done in 2 hours, but as it happened, the agenda spilled over beyond 11 a.m., and therefore, I'd like to apologize. I'm told some of the PSs had to leave, and some of the PSs also had a meeting with the deputy president, like the PSICT and others. I need to acknowledge Mr. Cabello. Thank you very much for being here from CAF, our CAF representatives in our midst, and the rest of the teams. So this is really a very exciting day for us as Kenya. And let me first say that it gives me immense pride to address you this morning, or this afternoon now, as we officially set the ball rolling towards hosting the African Nations Championship, which is Chan, in February next year, and Africa Cup of Nations in 2027. The two competitions are the biggest events to be held in our home soil in the recent years. The challenge, therefore, is a huge one. However, the caliber, track record, and passion that the individual members bring to this team gives me a lot of confidence that we will deliver the best tournament in the history of the two competitions. Let me first start by saying it is amazing when you think actually that the last time we hosted a major sporting event, other than the athletics, in 2018, the last time we did a properly major sports event that can be measured around what we are about to do is in 1987, All Africa Games. It's an indictment also on our side as a country, because we pride ourselves as a nation that is moving towards a middle-income country. Yet we are not a sporting activities destination. We pride ourselves as a country that is focusing on tourism, but if we compare ourselves with South Africa, for example, and countries like Egypt, the ones we like comparing ourselves in the continent, we must be we must start doing a lot of soul searching ourselves. No wonder we complain a lot about Nyayo and Kasarani, but we forget that Nyayo was built in 1983. You know, the president then, having gone to China in 1980, spoke to the Chinese government about possibility of building a good stadium in Nairobi. And that is how the process of Kasarani started. 1980, you know. Some of us were barely walking. Yeah? I know Mr. Musonye is looking at me and wondering, oh, okay, we were in town. But the truth is that it is in 1983 that we got now this Nyayo Stadium we have down here. It's in 1983. And that is what gave us the capacity to bid for the All Africa Games of 1987. We built the Nyayo, and I want people to appreciate this. We built Kasarani from 1983 up to 1987. Actually, Kasarani was like the same situation we're having now. It was not ready, and the games are coming up in August. Kasarani became ready in 1987, February, March, just a few months to the All African Games itself. So, first, two things. One, history teaches us that as a country, we have done better every time we have pushed ourselves to host a similar event. And by just sitting there and doing nothing about it, we haven't been able to put ourselves under pressure. For those who have that, we have put ourselves in such immense pressure. In fact, with some benefit of hindsight, you still ask yourself whether we should have really pushed ourselves for Chan. But it is this kind of pressure that made Kenya have the two major facilities which have lasted 40 years. So the pressure we're having at the moment, many 40 years down the line, our children will be saying, it was good we went through this pressure. That's why we have these sports facilities as we have at the moment. So the debate of our readiness, about our readiness and whether we'll be ready is a healthy debate. But we must appreciate that we are doing this under pressure and thank God that 40 years down the line, we are building one of the best sports facilities in Talanta Stadium, at Talanta Sports City in Ngong Road, because of the preparation towards Africa Cup of Nations. And as such, we have something to be proud of, just like those who went before us in 1980s did. So you are under a lot of pressure. I just wanted to say this. You are under a lot of pressure to accept to serve. Some of you, we gazetted you and then I called you that you are going to serve. And I was hoping you will not turn down. And thank God you did not, because you believe in your country, you have the spirit of patriotism. We are going to carry this load together of preparation for this very important. Our country is ranked #1 in Africa in the Olympics, was ranked #1 in Africa in the Olympics. And therefore, I have no doubt that we have the capacity to deliver the best sporting bonanza in the continent through your leadership. Apart from the members who are in the team courtesy of the positions they hold, that is representative of the PSS, the membership of the local organizing committee and the secretariat was purely selected based on the merit and the impact they have in the sports in the country. Let me say this. Jacob Ghost-Mulee is not my day-to-day friend. And I did not consult him so that I chose him. Yeah? He actually saw his name in the Gazette notice. Yeah? If you know something, for you to appreciate the kind of person I am, and for the ministry will tell you, I picked all of you, not knowing you in person, not actually. In fact, at some point, I wish there was a way we could advertise. Yeah? So I kept calling people, different people, asking them, who do you think can be the best person? The person whose name was mentioned more times are the people I picked. And I said, and with the little knowledge I knew and Googled a little bit about them, I believed that with that experience they have, they are going to serve. And I did also some bit of interview. I called 1 or 2 people and just asked, would you be willing to serve as a committee at the corner and somewhere? And I'm very happy that eventually we got you. So the chair of this committee, who will do the day-to-day chairing of this committee, will be Mr. Nicholas Musonye, who has 13 years experience as a Secretary General of the Council of East and Central Africa Football Association, CECAFA. Please have a seat. For many years, and who is a sports journalist by profession. The CEO will be Mr. Mike Rabar, who will be the head of the Secretariat. He's an experienced administrator who chaired Kenya's successful hosting of the World Athletics Under-20 Championship in 2011. Please, I didn't choose you because of football, but because of your organizational skills. And I asked around whether you will be a faithful servant to account for everything that we will use, and many people thought you will be. And that's how we ended up calling you to my office to interview you. And for the first time, I got to know who you are. I've seen you before from a distance, but we had to meet. You all know Jacob Ghost-Mulee, who brings a wealth of experience from the sporting fraternity, our former goalkeeper, our former coach, the first one actually, perhaps, to take us for Africa Cup of Nations. And so that was actually the reason why I thought he has the qualified experience. And I told him to stop laughing in the morning, come and do the job. Yeah, please have a seat, Mr. Mulee. You need to come and do a serious job here to make sure that we are ready for the championship. That's on a light note. And I'm just singling out a few people as examples, not to mean that the rest of you are not very qualified. We have who? Let me pick one more person. Is Terry Oko here? Terry, thank you very much, Terry. Please be seated. Terry also is our footballer, former Harambee Starlets player, and with the experience of football, I thought she was going to play a very important role. As I didn't know you, and I've not met you. Have we met? Never. We'll be meeting after this for the first time. But from the recommendations given, I took it very seriously that as a former starlet and a professional in your right, you are going to make this contribution. And maybe the last example I'll give is from the media fraternity. We took Mr. Elias Makori, who everybody knows. Yeah, he's here. Thank you very much. Thank you, Elias. And also, I actually consulted him over other things. because of his media experience there. And please, just have a seat. Elias is an old hand in sports media, as we all know. And therefore, we have assembled one of the best teams. If I didn't mention your name, it doesn't mean you are very important. You are not very important. And if you think I have, because I have not mentioned very important, demonstrate during the work you are going to do that you are very important. But I just took a few of you as example for that reason. In short, we have assembled the best brains possible to deliver 2 tournaments which will raise our profile as a destination for major international sporting events. I challenge everyone in the team to give this assignment their all. You are in the team because of your record. The success of these events will open doors for you as a person, not just for your country, but for you as a person. The Lord Sebastian Coe, as you all know, a 4-time Olympics gold medalist, led the bid for the London 2012 Olympics, as you know, and chaired its LOC. In 2015, thereafter, just barely 3 years after, he was elected to be the president of the World Athletics. He is now running for the president of International Olympics Committee. You are at the center of national and world attention. There is no option, but you must deliver. I just picked this example to tell you that if you do well in this assignment, you also have a greater opportunity to grow in your career, to ensure that you grow in leaps and bounds and and have an opportunity to serve as a global citizen. So football is not a small thing, it's a big thing. And you have to be able to take this assignment very seriously. And being an LOC member is not a small thing, it's a big thing. It's not about the salary. Because many people think that it's not about the allowances. And by the way, there will be very little allowance. There will be no proper salary. This is national duty. You are just contributing to your country. It's not about money. And the reason why I'm saying this is that you must demonstrate patriotism on this assignment. You must give it all. And I spoke to Mike and I said that the few secretariat members we gazetted to be part and parcel of the secretariat are not all. Now you will take the time to think through working with the PS and the team to see how we can co-opt younger Kenyans whom we will mentor, who will serve in this LOC, and we mentor them so that as they grow, they become the institutional memory. We will be building capacity of future Kenyans who will be leading future LOCs for other assignments that we'll have as a country. Please put it in your heart and mind that mentorship will be part and parcel of your job. Mr. Musonye and Mike, as you lead the teams, you must make sure that as you pick Kenyans, pick the right young people who are going to be mentored to serve our country in future. Remember, we are operating in an environment of low trust, skepticism, and cynicism. Some of it is obviously justified after we were stripped of the rights to host the 1996 African Cup of Nations and the 2018 Confederation Cup of Nations events. So some of the skepticism that people have is justified. But of course some is motivated by political ill will and sometimes lack of patriotism. And therefore you need to ignore the negative energy, you need to ignore. But you need to take in issues that the people of Kenya are raising. And you must have a thick skin. You must have a very thick skin to operate in public space in 2024 and beyond. Because 2 years ago, there was no TikTok campaign of this nature. Maybe TikTok is about 3 or 4 years. And something else will come, and something else will come. You will be insulted. You will be called names. If you are not ready to do this job, if you're not ready to be insulted, you better just tell me now to replace you. Because definitely there will be all kinds of things that people will say about you. A lot of it's speculative, you know. So you have to be very careful. Some of you will come with your private property. Whatever you have, you own, you do what. If you're not very careful, it will be attributed to your membership in the Chan, in the LOC. So there is usually all these things in public space, but you must grow the thick skin and to be willing to be criticized, sometimes unfairly. As per your terms of reference, staging successful events of this magnitude are, however, known to rally countries together. At the end, the good news, at the end, in 2027, when we are having the closing ceremony of Africa Cup of Nations at the newly built Talanta Sports Center in Ngong Road, and you are sitting there, and they are saying, the team that did this, and we are, there's Tarumbeta and everything. Everybody will say, we knew these guys were going to deliver anyway. Yeah, that is the good news. The good news is that for as long as you are able to reach the final destination, to deliver Kenya to the final destination, everybody will be celebrating you. As per your terms of reference, you have a free hand to develop a strategy and a roadmap to execute this task. The only rider is to do anything within your confines of the law, everything within the confines of the law, and in the best interest of our country. We are giving you the authority to do everything in your power to deliver successful competitions efficiently and on budget. Your immediate assignment is in the sports infrastructure, and on this I wish to assure the country once again that we are doing everything humanly possible to deliver quality infrastructure in time for the Chan and Africa Cup of Nations. I know many people are very concerned about February. I am also concerned. And it is the right thing to do to be concerned. We have had so many meetings with the Defense Ministry, who are actually the agents of, on behalf of Ministry of Sports, insofar as the infrastructure are concerned. We have had meetings with the contractors. We are relying on their word in terms of their commitment that we will be on time. We know the challenges they have. We are facilitating the areas that they have challenges, and we appreciate the support that CAF has given us and the pressure they have also put on us, and we will continue being on this together to the end. Now, FKF President, you are coming in at a very difficult time, my friend, because you are also CAF. You are a member of CAF, and you sit in the decision-making body of CAF. If anything goes wrong in CAF, it's you. Notwithstanding the fact that you were elected 2 days ago. The point is this: we rely on you also as a CAF member to support us, to work with CAF, to retrofit a few things here and there to make sure that this country is ready to host the Chan. We'll do our best, but we will also rely on your support as CAF to appreciate certain issues that we have to deliver for February next year, but others that we have to postpone until the Africa Cup of Nations 2027. This is a teamwork. And I tell you this, President Motsepe is such a wonderful man. When he came here and we were in Nyayo and wondering whether this grass can be used, he actually managed to convince the CAF team that we can, as long as we do certain things, we can work with the Kikuyu grass that is there, despite the fact that we were being told we must have Bermuda grass. So that kind of cooperation and support from CAF is going to help us to be able to navigate the challenge and the pressure that we put ourselves. And when I say the pressure we put on ourselves, it is not, I'm not blaming my PS. My PS and my colleague, my former CS, they did a fantastic job to lead the country towards bidding for these two tournaments. The only reason why I say that is because I was also part of the decision, because the entire cabinet approved the hosting of Chan and Afcon. Maybe if we were, as I've consulted a number of friends in the cabinet, they're saying maybe we were overambitious to put ourselves in this kind of pressure. But as I said, this level of pressure is going to assist us to be able to move forward as a country. And therefore, I promise that we will do everything to make sure that we are ready for this very important event. We are also lucky to have a very sound transport infrastructure and world-class hospitality. And I'm not saying this because PS Mohamed Daga has come in. It's just a coincidence at the place where I am. Thank you very much. Welcome, PS. I was almost confusing. I thought my PS has arrived. Thank you. Transportation is a key part of successful continental or international event. We would have to work on every efficient transport system for players, fans, and officials. And that's why PS Mohamed Daga sits at the oversight team, because transportation is important. How we will move people in the city, and how they arrive at the airport, and how we will move them via the railway, and other things that we are planning to do is extremely important. Let us bring all stakeholders on board, the private sector, and I'm sure KEPSA is represented here. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Private sector is represented here. The Media Owners Association, is it represented here? The chair or his representative may not be here today, but the media is fully represented in this very important body. We will also ensure that we train volunteers, but we will need everyone to treat our visitors well and help them around and be mindful of their culture. I remember very well the campaign in France towards the Olympics 2024, where the country everybody was brought on board, and everybody was asked to do everything to smile to all visitors. You know, French people were even rehearsing how they would be smiling to strangers. Yeah, welcome, welcome, you know. So please, as Kenyans, we need to start preparing to smile, yeah, as we prepare for this. You are the ones who will come up with a rallying call. What is that one thing that we can do, all of us, to make our visitors from different parts of the world to be able to come here? You know, Kenyans will not forgive us if we don't do a good job, because they want to see actually their Premier League stars playing here. They want to see Lukman, they want to see Onana, they want to see all these other people from other countries who have qualified to come for the Africa, who will qualify actually for the Africa Cup of Nations when the time comes. So the whole country must be brought on board. That's why also the city of Nairobi is on board. The county secretary of Nairobi City County is an integral part of the committee. Is the county secretary here of the city county? The county secretary of Nairobi. Maybe we should change it to be the governor himself so that he will. But this is really important for the city. In other parts of the world, it is not the government who would have the entire country will bid for the tournament. It's the cities actually, especially in athletics, Olympics, and therefore Nairobi City County must take also this very seriously. Therefore, we must preserve our city, make sure that the fountains are working. We must also make sure that the housing projects is helping us, and we must clean Nairobi River so that when the visitors come, they will find this Nairobi River even cleaner. So, in other words, I'm trying to tell you this is a whole government approach. It's not a one-man show. It's not a one-ministry event. This is going to be a very important event for the entire country. Let me, for avoidance of doubt, introduce again. It's a long list. The PS has read the long list. But let me call the chair of, just to start, the chair of because as the National Steering Committee, Mr. Nicholas Musonye, please be upstanding. The president of FKF, who is the vice chair, and this is the most integral team. The representative of the PSS who are here, just stand. The PSS and the Ministry, Solicitor General, and so forth, please be upstanding. Foreign Affairs, all the representatives who are here, just stand. I don't need to call all of them because we are a long list as government. Just stand if you are representing the PS here. Those are representative of the PSS who are present here. Is the Chief Executive Officer of the Sports Kenya, please be upstanding. The CEO of the Director General of the Sports Kenya, CEO of the Kenya Academy of Sports, please stand up. The president of FKF is going to nominate another 5 people who are coming to be part of this committee, and they have specific responsibility to chair various committees as per the directives of CAF. They are going to chair those committees. We have Mr. Elias Makori, Terry Ouko, please be standing, Jacob Cost Mule, and Eliud Kipkeo. Thank you very much. These are the members. Later, we will call you to front here so that we take a picture. Please be seated. The Secretariat is led by Mike Rabar, who is here. He's the head of the Secretariat, deputized by Patrick Korir, who is the FKF Secretary General, and then Dennis Kinywa from the ministry, Natasha Nyakundi from the ministry, Lorna Misoi. Oh yeah, Natasha is from FKF, sorry. Yeah, you are all familiar around here, so I assumed that you're from the ministry. Lorna Misoi, Ivy Kitony, who is here from the county, representative from the county governments, and Jackie Munialo. Thank you very much. Jack, not Jackie, Jack. Sorry, sorry, Jack. Jimmy Lorot, who is a lawyer and a football enthusiast. Nicole Mwende. Thank you very much. These are the first batch of the Secretariat members. The rest will be an agreement between you and the leadership of the steering committee. Please have a seat. I think I've said everything I needed to say. I'd like now, before I sit and say we declare first, to take this opportunity to give 1 minute to the chair of the steering committee, Mr. Nicholas Musonye, to say one word. Pigia makofi.
Asante sana Waziri. May I take this opportunity to recognize our peers, Mr. Dr. Tum, for Defense, Mr. Mariro, peers of Transport, who has just come in, our Chairman or Secretary of Sports Development Fund, our new President of the FKF, Mr. Hussein, and his Deputy, Mr. Mariga, my Secretary of the Secretariat, Mr. Rabar, who is here, and the media. I say thank you, Mr. Waziri, for giving me the honor to chair this steering committee, deputized by our new president of FKF. I want to assure you, Mr. Waziri, you have given us a job to do. You have given us a job to do, and I want to assure you, Honorable Minister, we shall do our best. We shall do our best to deliver Chan and Afcon. I know the worry you have. I had it about 1 year ago, and I told you, because I don't hide. I told you I was not very keen on Chan. And I told you, Mr. Minister, if you are unhappy with that, I'm sorry. Because the time factor for Chan was very close. Given what we have, I have gone through Kasarani, I have gone through Nyayo, I have gone through Ulindi Stadium and Pavilion. We are behind the schedule. But I am glad our peers has made a commitment, and the Secretary of the Sports Development Fund, that we'll do all we can to ensure that we deliver Chan and a better Afcon. Because after Chan, we'll have 1 year, we'll have 2 years to do a better job for Afcon. So I want to assure you that 1, we are going to be very patriotic. 2, we shall be very prudent in our expenditure, because that has been a problem in this country, where after the event, don't take me to court, please. Because I know at my age, if you take me to court, I will not survive. So we'll try our best to use what you are going to give us in the best way, so that after this, if I go back to my place in Nandi and Shinyalu, I am safe. Is that so? Asante. So my members of the steering committee, and Mr. Rapad, our secretariat, and my president of FKF, let us work as a team. The minister has said, we work as a team. And I want to emphasize what the minister said. Let's work as a team, and we are also going to rely on the senior officers in the ministry to give us more guidance. Because some of us and many of you are from the private sector. How the government works, the PS knows. So we shall also rely on you on many issues. So without going into many details, because we shall have more other meetings, I want to assure you and the Kenyans at large that we are going to deliver Chan in any way possible. And then we embark on the long journey of giving the best we can at Afcon. So with this, Mr. Waziri, I want to thank you for the honor, and I assure you will not fail you. But if I say things that are not right to go to you, don't blame me. Asante sana.
I used to see you banging tables many years ago. I don't even remember what was the reason, but I just used to see you. And I thought you are a brother of Atwoli. So that's on a light note also. You are right. Yeah, you know, after the 1987 All Africa Games, there was some controversy. So it's important to set the record as early as possible that we will not condone anything related to corruption. And I am very happy that you started on that note, because it is our desire as a ministry and a country that everything will be done above board and corruption will not be entertained in any form or style, so that we can have the facilities and the benefit of all this that we are going to have as a country. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give an opportunity also to the president of FKF. Before I invite him, I just want to congratulate you, Hussein Mohammed and McDonald Mariga, for a race that you fought so hard. I'd like to congratulate the elections board for delivering credible elections that led to the results. I'd like to congratulate the outgoing team, Dorothy and Nick especially because he was the president, for the work he did for the last 8 years. I know I've been very, very hard on Nick. I've been very hard on Nick. But it doesn't mean that he was doing nothing for 8 years. He did what he could do in those 8 years. And he knows he had my support even when I was in Senate. And therefore, we want to thank him as we thank the PS, the former CS, because also they played a crucial role in bidding for this tournament to be brought to our country. And now that he has peacefully handed over power, I was asking Hussein, are you now in office? He said to me, I'm in office. I said, but where was the handing over ceremony? He told me this is not like the other president. This president is smaller. Because I thought there was going to be a ceremonial handing over of a sword of football. But the point I'm saying is that we are going to work together with you to make sure that football is great again. Remember what I have told you before. I did not know you will be the one to win. It could have been you, it could have been anybody else. But this is the point we want to make, is that we want you to come in and quickly, before power begins to become a problem around you and your vice president, to quickly put in place proper legal frameworks that are accountable for FKF. You know, if you stay for another 6 months, it will be sweet and you start saying, so don't give it time. We want you to make sure that the constitution of FKF, the systems that are put in place are going to be as transparent and open as possible. Number two is that I really look forward to FKF putting more effort, using Africa Cup of Nations as a target, or as a target for us to do more in terms of youth development. We will support you as a ministry. And it is for you now to put together the system of how we are going to develop the youth from 8 years or 6 years up to 17 years, so that we have a proper... when I used to go and train, I met Kostumule in some field somewhere training some young people. That is what we want to see, development of growth of young people. Want to see more transparency in the use of public resources and the resources that you will win. But above all, Hussein, I want to see, and Kenyans want to see, that football again, people can come to the stadium, sponsors are coming back to support and finance football because of transparency. And it's possible, because rugby for 10 years did not have sponsors. But a few months ago, they had a new sponsor because of leadership and management of the federation. Please, my friend, because you are my friend, help me. Yeah, I want you to help me so that I don't need to see football again. With you, I'll just be saying, with Hussein and Mariga, football is safe. You just come with the budget, the PS will look at it, we rationalize, we support, and let the football now be great under your leadership. And because I know you are very energetic, you have been my chairman before, you are a man of lots of energy and friendship and teamwork with people, please. I don't know if you know, I used to meet you talking to many Kenyans, and I told you there are only 92 delegates that are voting. Why are you talking to so many people? Now this is the time to now talk to many people, because the entire country is looking up to you and your running mate and the entire team as a team to be able to deliver a great football, whatever. Now this perhaps is your inaugural event with the ministry, and you are the vice chair of the committee. In other countries, people fear to work closely with the FKF leadership. But with your new broom, I believe that with you being the new broom in town, I believe that you bring in teamwork together with Mr. Musonye and the PS and all of us here. So it is now my greatest pleasure and honor as the Cabinet Secretary of Sports to introduce you officially to come and make a few remarks. Yeah? Make a few remarks. Yeah, thank you.
Something else, but Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Youth Affairs, Creative Economy and Sports, PSs, my friend PS Dagar, PS of Defense, PS Sports TUM, all representatives from government and other PSs, representing other PSs, Able Deputy McDonald Mariga, members of FKF, members of the Fourth Estate, all stakeholders, Hamjambo. Mine will be quite brief. I don't want to repeat what Waziri and the others have said. But first of all is to thank all the delegates who had the faith in us to elect us in this position. And I want to assure all Kenyans that we're up to the task. Yesterday we had our first session at Kandanda House, and well, all I can say for now is that we have our work cut for us. There's so much to be done, there's very little time, the expectations are through the roof, but I know we have an able team, we'll even form a stronger team moving forward. I know what is expected of us. I'm very football over the last 20 years. And in fact, I think I'm very glad that I won this seat. Had I not won it, and considering that Waziri has appointed people he did not know into this LOC, my chances of making it to this committee would have been very slim, considering that I've known him for very many years. I was Waziri's chairman at Youth Agenda back then, when I took my first shot at this position. But everything in God's time. On matter of Chan and Afcon, just a couple of things. I have all the confidence, Waziri, in your team, in the government. I know almost everybody who's participating in the process, and I have all the confidence of Kenya will deliver. Secondly, as we talk of preparations of infrastructure, and we talk of the multi-agency team doing its job, kindly let's remember that we also have a team to prepare. We must put up a good show as a country. We need to prepare Harambee Stars. We need to make sure that our boys are ready. We need to make sure that all the support is accorded to them so that we don't just participate for the sake of participating. We need to put up a very good show, and for that reason, we must also remember them. I want to assure the local organizing committee of FKF's full support. I've had a word with the CEO of our secretariat, and we've agreed that we will provide a list of names that will add value to this particular organization, and that we will have competent individuals that will come on board. I also want to urge the private sector, please don't be on the sidelines anymore. Join hands with us. It's a fresh start. It's a new beginning. We need all the support we can get. I can see Kepsa is here. I'd like to call on all the big companies in Kenya, the Safaricom's of this world, EABL, the banks, ABSA, Equity. Please join hands with us now and be part of this process. Lastly, Waziri, I want to give you my assurance that with our position as a delegate, as a member of Congress at CAF and at FIFA, we will use our influence to always champion our agenda, not only for Kenya, but for the region. So this is an assurance I want to give you. I have already talked to the CAF. Had a word with Infantino. We've agreed that we will be meeting very soon, and top of the agenda is how do we now develop, how do we progress football, not only in Kenya but in the region, because now we are integrating more with East Africa and with ACFA. Africa is becoming one marketplace. Football is a big, big industry. Everybody within the ecosystem must now start earning money from football. Waziri, I hope that in the coming days, we will stop calling football extracurricular activity. Football must be mainstreamed as an economic agenda for this country. And I hope that we will mainstream football into the national agenda. This is the only constructively and create job opportunities for them. There's a lot of money to be made within the ecosystem of football, from TV, broadcasting, from marketing, from gate collections, and so on and so forth. There's so much. So we must mainstream this agenda. It is top of my priority. The infrastructure we are laying today will be beneficial for years to come. As Waziri said, I don't want to repeat that we are up to the task. Give us some time. I'm urging for a little bit of patience. We don't have a silver bullet, but eventually we'll get there. And this is my commitment to His Excellency the President and to the rest of Kenyans. Asanteni sana. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Some of us don't know what it means to be called a president. Yeah, congratulations and thank you for your vision. Last but not least, I want to ambush our friend from CAF, Mr. Kabelo. Please, just say a few words. You can even say Kunjani. Yeah, that is enough. Please, unajua nyinyi, hata amjui nani ndio anapigiwa makofi. Si ni huyu jamaa, hata hawezi mtazama.
Thank you very much. This was a real ambush. But I'd like to first start by thanking you. I don't want to feel left out, so I also want to call you Waziri. Thank you very much, Waziri. Thank you for welcoming me in this beautiful country. Thank you to all your staff that I've been working with in the past couple of weeks. I heard you guys talk about the previous tournaments that you couldn't host. 1996 was one of them. From my side, I want to say thank you. Thank you very much, because that tournament came to South Africa, and obviously we won that tournament. So we have a special link. So maybe the football gods sent me here to make sure that you host this tournament coming up called the Chan and the Afcon in 2027. With me, I just want to say I'm here because CAF has sent me here, because CAF values our partners. Our main partner, of course, is the FKF, and I'd want to obviously congratulate the new leadership at FKF. And CAF is going to work hand in hand with you to ensure that everything that you need for this tournament is done. And we want to also ensure that government is also a very key partner in any tournaments that are hosted across the continent. And we value your contribution to this tournament. And, I've been hearing a lot about social media over the past few days about, where this tournament might be ending up. And, I want to assure everyone that it's CAF's commitment to make sure that this tournament will take place in the countries that it was intended to take place. So we are here to work hard and make sure that that happens. And we obviously know and we see the impact that tournaments have on the continent. For an example, in South Africa, the World Cup coming to South Africa was a major boost for South Africa, for our economy, in terms of the social change that happened in our country as well. So I'm hoping that this tournament can also be used as a big change, not just on the football field, but throughout the whole country. And a recent example is the Africa Cup of Nations that happened in Ivory Coast, which I was also glad to be a part of. And, you know, the big changes that happened in that country. And I think that Kenya and the region can utilize these two tournaments to impact major change in these countries and be left with beautiful infrastructure after the tournament that can be used for generations to come. So with those few words, thank you very much, Asante Sana, and I hope to see you and work with all of you soon.
Thank you, Kabela. Thank you so much. Pigieni makofi huyu jamaa vizuri. Niliwaambia, unaona vile watu wanapenda Kenya kuliko sisi wenyewe. Yaani Wakenya wenyewe wanaenda kuchokora ati itaenda wapi. Nani alikuambia inaenda wapi? We want to thank you. I was telling them that you are a very quick learner. And you got Kiswahili so fast, which is amazing. Thank you very much. I think with those many remarks, let me now, our peers, all the other peers have said something. PS Mohamed Aga is my friend and my former colleague in the Ministry of Roads and Transport. He's our PS for transport. Just come and say jambo. Yeah. At least you feel where I came. You say something. And transport, even when we were serving together with him in the Ministry of Roads and Transport, already there was a commitment on what we need to do. In fact, the Roads Ministry also, the Department of Roads, on what we are going to do in all this transport system around Nairobi. And no wonder he sits in the Oversight Committee because it's extremely important. Yes, Mohamed Aga, please say a few words. And please, I hope people know that you are not related in any way with Hussein. Because sometimes they tell me, oh, you Daga, brother ya Hussein.
Thank you very much, Waziri. I'm really struggling, to be honest, that you speak sports so fluently. I'm used to talk about AC standards and bitumen and this airstrip being somewhere, but anyway. It's the nature of government, but congratulations. It's really a pleasure for me. It has been wonderful working under you, sir, and now working again for you with this wonderful team that has been listed here. Congratulations again to Hussein. Congratulations again to Mweshi. Hussein is my friend. It's good I declare that. Yeah, so we are here to ensure that we'll work with engineer Dr. Tum here, we'll work with my brother Mariru here, to ensure what needs to be done will be done. Whatever needs to be there will be done. And I don't think that will even come from me. I think it will come from you, Waziri, given your previous docket that you have been working. So we'll ensure that will be achieved. Sansanozi.
I truly enjoyed working with Mohammed, and he's among the youngest PSS in the country, and it was a very great pleasure for me working with him. So, Mike, you want to say something? Yeah? Yeah, maybe one word. But you know, when you are secretariat, you are behind the scenes. Eh? It is Musonye who will be banging tables. Please, just say your name.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mike Raba, CEO, heading secretariat, and thank you, Azuri, so much for giving us this platform to show capacity in putting together big, world, large-scale events. I think I've heard all the right words in this meeting. Everyone's given us the commitment, especially from government side. Coming from private sector, of course, we were a bit worried, but I think with this delegation here, we are all been reassured of commitment, support, and given our past, I think the history we've had putting together large-scale events, this one should be probably easily, Waziri, a walk in the park for us. And I think We have reassured ourselves that the venues will be ready on time, and thank you, CAF, for giving us that vote of confidence. We really don't take it for granted. There's a lot of work cut out for us to do in the next couple of weeks. We are up to the task, we are ready, and we're charged. Thank you so much, Waziri.
Let me just confirm to you, for avoidance of doubt, to get to Chan, the work is a lot. In fact, you have to suspend perhaps some of the things you are doing now elsewhere, because we have already told Kenyans we will do Chan. So it must be delivered. Yeah, it must be delivered. There's no other way. Whether you travel, whether you have to send a plane to bring some of the materials from wherever it is, it comes here. We have said we will do everything in the books, everything, to make sure that we host a Chan here. And there is no if we don't. There is no if. So since there is no if, we used to be told a story of of this soldier who, after crossing the river, he destroyed the boat and told his soldiers, as you can see, there is no way to escape. Yeah. So after this, I'm destroying the boat. There is no way to escape. All of us must work towards delivering this very important tournament. And the respect that deserves to CAF and to the people of Africa for trusting us to host this very important event. And therefore, let us go and work. Let's go and work and let's go and deliver. Please, media, thank you very much. Please try as much as possible to infuse positive energy to your country. At the moment, it's not like we don't know there are challenges, but at the moment, look for in what way are we going to rally together as a nation to make sure that we can deliver this tournament. We can deal with our usual political issues later, but for now, let's focus on delivering this tournament. Kwa hayo na mengi, it is now my greatest honor, pleasure to declare this meeting officially closed, and for the committee, the LOC, to be now officially inaugurated. Thank you very much.
Another round of applause for the CS. Would request the CS to remain on the podium shortly for a photo session. Would ask that the podium be moved down. The first photo session will be with the principal secretaries.